Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing. But hey, whatever. If I can help one person, then that would be awesome. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sarah, and I'm a 36-year-old mom and stepmom. I have 2 stepchildren who are teenagers, and I have a son who is 4. And it makes for a busy life, but a very fun and entertaining life at times as well. But the reason I'm doing this video is actually because I have been going through basically what I call my solitary hell for a really long time now. Just feeling unwell and feeling unhealthy, and I can sort of compare it to, like, I basically feel like a 70-year-old woman in the body of a 36-year-old woman. And it's frustrating, it's hard, and you just really feel isolated from the world around you. And I also kind of like was wondering if maybe I was hypochondriac, or I was just making things up, or I maybe had no tolerance for pain, or like just trying to understand what's wrong with me. And went to a lot of doctor appointments and did some blood work, like all kinds of different sets of blood work to sort of try and figure out what's going on and eliminate certain things. And it just always came out basically clear. Like, no, you're fine, this isn't it, this isn't it, this isn't it, this isn't it. And I could do a video later to go into detail as to what I have done in the past, if anyone's interested. Or you can message me and I can let you in on it if you're kind of going through a similar situation. So finally something happened recently that has pushed me over the top and has made me decide I'm not getting answers through normal medicine, so I'm gonna go the alternative medicine way and see if I can fix it this way. I have tried several different diets as well, hoping that maybe that would clear some of the issues up. So I've gone vegan for almost a year. I've done vegetarian. I've done keto kind of for a little while. And then I did a really thorough liver cleanse that was about 6 weeks long, where I didn't have any alcohol, basically no sugar, not a heck of a lot of carbs, only healthy carbs like, say, a quinoa or brown rice or something like that. And sorry. And nothing really made me feel better. So, and I also, you know, I try to be active, I try to work out. I haven't been very good lately, but that's because of what's kind of been happening, which has made it difficult for me to work out. So I had pain in my left shoulder. I'm confused, I'm looking at the screen. In my left shoulder, starting about 5 years ago. And I just never really knew what happened. Nothing really happened. It's not like I fell or I hurt myself. It just started kind of hurting inside my shoulder, depending on the movement. So, you know, I could do this, no problem, do this, and all of a sudden if I'm lifting this way, it hurts. This is still happening, it's still hurting. If I go, this hurts, like this actually hurts. Today I'm really, really bummed. I'm not feeling well. You can see this, yeah. What I look like is how I feel. So I lived with it. I went to the doctor, they sent me to physio, I did physio, it didn't help. And I just thought, all right, this is the rest of my life, I guess. I'm just gonna have this weird shoulder pain and hopefully it goes away eventually. And it did not. So, about 2 months ago now, I think it was about 2 months ago now, I woke up in the morning and just kind of turned myself around and I felt something that did not feel good, and I thought, eek, this isn't good. But anyway, it was fine. Like, it was sore, kind of like it is right now. And so I just went about my day, got up, and we have this thing we do on Saturdays where we go have Chinese food. And so we got ready, did some shopping, and went to the Chinese restaurant. But in between leaving the house and going to the Chinese restaurant, the pain started to just get exponentially greater and greater and greater until we're eating, and I was like, I can't really eat with my left hand. It's too painful. So I'm trying to eat with my right hand, and then try to put my coat on. I couldn't put my coat on. I couldn't move my arm back. I couldn't lift my coat. So my husband put my coat on for me. And he's a little bit concerned, like, okay, I mean, you'll be okay, you'll be fine. And by the time we got home, I was in so much pain, I couldn't move. Like, I basically couldn't move because every movement resonated into my shoulder, and it was just shooting all the way down. Ouch, sorry, that hurts right now. And going in here. And it was horrible. So, didn't do anything really, didn't go to the doctor that day, mostly because I couldn't move. And my husband just kept saying, you know what, you'll be fine, like, it happens, maybe you did something funny, let's wait a couple days. Okay, so the next day, is that the day that I think I caved? Well, I couldn't sleep all night. Anyway, I couldn't lay down because laying down, just the pressure that it would put was tremendous. So I tried to sleep sitting up in my bed, which was literally impossible. So I was exhausted, and my husband was going away for work, and I think he was going away for 5 days. It was one of the long trips, and I was really nervous, obviously, because I have a toddler. I have things to do, like I drive people to school. So anyway, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I did my best, and at one point during the day I decided, you know what, I'm not waiting one more day. I'm going to emergency. This is crazy. I can't live like this. So I went to the emerge. Actually, I got in really quickly, which was great. And they did a test to see inside, what's it called? An x-ray. So they did an x-ray, and then he could tell right away from the x-ray that that there was calcification, which he explained to me, saying that my tendon was basically turning to bone, and that freaked me out. Obviously, I'm thinking, oh my God, are you saying, I mean, because your tendon's supposed to be moving. If it's turning to bone, am I gonna basically have like just like a cement arm one day? I didn't really understand. They gave me a shot for pain and sent me off home and said, nothing really we can do, but this is what's happening. We'll do an ultrasound just to see deeper, to make sure there's no like breaks or any reason that you're getting this calcification. And if not, it's basically a waiting game at that point. Like, take medicine to help with the pain, and hopefully this goes away, because there's nothing really they can do. So did that, and it obviously subsided. The extreme pain subsided, but the pain in the shoulder is still there. And not only that, now it's in the other shoulder too. The exact same pain that I had for 5 years on one side is on the other side. Of course, my mind started to freak out. Like, okay, am I gonna have calcification on this side too? Am I gonna have to go through this pain again? I kid you not, it was as bad as labor for me. I had a pretty good labor though, I'm not gonna lie, but it was the most pain I've ever felt. So, not good. I'm like freaking out. And so I'm trying to do my workouts. Of course, planking, push-ups, anything that requires me to put pressure on my shoulders is difficult. Raising my arms up is difficult. Raising my arms sideways is difficult. Is difficult. And, kicker, Now my hip flexors, both sides, have the same feeling as my shoulders. So I literally feel like I'm falling apart. And this is what has pushed me over the top, because I thought, there is no way. Like, something is wrong with me. This is not normal. It's not normal for me who, you know, does light working out, nothing crazy, I eat fairly healthy, but I have so much pain all over my body. Like, it's everything attached to me just is in pain. It is crazy. So I went to this integrative medicine place in Markham and talked about my symptoms. He right away thought of a few things and then did a live blood cell analysis. And I don't know if any of you have ever done this. I recommend it, honestly, because even when you know you should change the way you eat, or you know you should change the way you, like your lifestyle or whatever, it's easy to just brush it off to tomorrow. Like, I'll just do it tomorrow. But what I saw in that screen, in one drop of my blood, freaked me right out. For those of you who know me, you know I don't like bugs, especially critters, insects, spiders, worms. Well, there were worms inside my blood, like that looked like a tapeworm, like this shape, like some were just straight, and all these other little things going through. It was so gross. So anyway, that definitely is giving me the push to adhere to whatever this doctor was going to tell me to do. And so, based on all of the symptoms I have, including the joint pains, but I also get multiple headaches a week. And I have had an MRI for that and nothing's come back. I also get bloating, like bad bloating, where I will look pregnant. It's not a joke. It's true. And it's very uncomfortable. I wouldn't say painful, but it's very uncomfortable. You just feel like there's something inside you just pushing against you outwardly from just below the chest to literally all the way down, like the bottom of my stomach. And I get that every day. So every time I eat, basically, or drink sometimes, just a drink will do it. So all of those things put together, this is kind of like really graphic, but I, for a period before I was pregnant, had recurring yeast infections where I'd have them every other month. Take medicine, it would go away, and I would get it again. So I felt like I never really got rid of it entirely. And so all of those things put together, and I'm very sensitive to them to this day. I have to be really careful. He's like, okay, well, you definitely have Candida, and we need to treat that first. Then he goes, you might have SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. But the fear is that there may also be some form of leaky gut happening where this overgrowth is now going into your bloodstream because we're seeing these parasites and things that shouldn't be there, or bacteria. I don't know exactly what they are. That's our next step. So the first step is this Candida that we have to get rid of. And I don't know if any of you have done the Candida diet. It's pretty crazy. I've seen it before, and I've wanted to do it before, like 5-6 years ago. And I was like, there's no way I can do this. And I'm a drinker. I have a drink every day. Not a drink. I drink alcohol every day. Usually from like 4:30 till 8, I'll have 2 or 3 drinks every night. It's kind of, I don't know, it's my relaxation. And I know it's not right. I know it's not healthy, and I try to be healthy, but it's kind of it's my vice. I have a drink every day. So now I can't. I have to stop basically everything at once. I cannot drink, and I have to take this medicine called Nystatin, which the doctors told me will has, there's like a die-off period during the first week that can be a little bit hard on you. And what this medicine does essentially is that it almost disintegrates the lining of the cells that have the yeast in them, or whatever the bacteria is, and it ruptures it so that its contents rupture into your system, and it leaves a big mess that your healthy cells have to clean up, and it has to come out, right? But when you do a lot of that at once, it's really hard on your system. So you can have nausea, headaches, body aches, feel exhausted, like all of these things, which it's like kind of what I already feel. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I gotta go through this, and it might get worse than it is now. So I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. And I have to cut my nightly wine. So no more wine for me while I'm on this medicine, for sure. And then after we finish this course, and once we're on to the next one, which will be dealing with all these weird things floating around, then I don't know what my diet's gonna look like. But basically right now, I have to cut out all dairy. I have to cut out all sugar. So even like barbecue sauce, ketchup. I can't have kombucha. I love kombucha. It's kind of like, if I can't have a glass of wine and I can at least have kombucha, I'm a happy girl. No kombucha. It's gonna be hard. No cheese. I know cheese is not great for you, and I try not to eat a lot of it, but I probably have a little bit every day. So no more cheese for me. No more bread. No more bread. Nothing processed. No crackers, no chips to dip hummus or salsa. Like, I can basically eat anything that you see that is growing. So, and not a lot of fruits. So I basically, because fruits have sugar, basically I'm going to be eating like a rabbit for the next little while. And yeah, so it's a lot to take in. It was a lot to take in. It was a lot to see those images that I could never take out of my mind now that exist inside my body. I don't have a choice. I can't quit, and I can't cheat, and I just have to get this done. So I wanted to make this video, and I was hoping to make it short, but I also feel like if I don't give you the real story, then it's not really going to make sense. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to be starting my Nystatin soon. I'm literally just waiting for the pharmacy, the compound pharmacy, to call me when it's ready. And once it's ready, I'm going to be starting that treatment. I have a couple supplements as well. Charcoal. I will be taking digestive enzyme. I will be taking milk thistle. And I will be taking a couple other things. I'll talk about the protocol once I start it. And what I want to do is I want to video the progress and video every day during the Nystatin. The reason I want to do it is because I looked up online to try and sort of research and get a better understanding of what that medicine does and what the die-off can look like and feel like, and I didn't find a lot of information. I found one person who did similar to this, where he videoed how it went for him going through it, and he did look like hell for like 4 or 5 days. So it'll be interesting to see how I'm affected by it. I don't know if his protocol had supplements, and I think the supplements, some of them that I'm taking, are supposed to help counteract the die-off effect. So hopefully, and I'm also getting graduated dosage, so I'm starting a little bit lower, and then the next week a bit higher, and the next week higher, and then the next week higher. So I'm doing it for 4 weeks. However, the doctor thinks it might be a longer process for me. So once I go back in a month, he may tell me I need to do it for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I have no idea. So I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do shorter. There'll be much shorter videos coming moving forward, because I'm just going to be kind of giving you an update as to how I'm feeling, if I do feel any different, if I feel worse, if I feel better, if my bloating, like I'll try to just kind of give you a quick update on all of the things, which are headaches, bloating, joint pain. That's the worst right now. And my mood seems like I'm pretty even keel, to be honest. So we'll leave it at that. I have other things I could talk about as well, but maybe I'll do that at the end when I'm done the treatment, and if those things got better, then I can attribute it to this issue, and then I can talk about it so that it can help people who are possibly going through similar issues. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. That was a long video. I apologize. I didn't mean to have it this long, and I'll probably rewatch it and realize I forgot a bunch of stuff, or I will be embarrassed and I won't post it, but we'll see, right? Because if you see this, then I decided to post it, and I just decided to get it done and not care, because whatever. If someone's interested and it's going to help them, great. If it doesn't help you, then don't bother watching it. That's all, right? Okay, that's it for me. To getting better together. Ow. I'm in pain. Ow. See? It's horrible. It's just